Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid to late July 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Pisces collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Pisces, gang? In mid to late July as we move on into Leo season shortly. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces, gang, in mid to late July. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have some fun today, my good friends. We're going to read through all the cards. All right, cool. So we have this page-like type of energy, which is pretty nice. Now, just to let everyone know, this isn't a tarot deck, it's an oracle, but just the symbolism and vibe and feel of this really reminds me of pages. And there's a lot of great aspects to it that could lead us into a very good direction. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this young individual here with that fancy hat with the feathers, little yin yang, playing what looks to be some kind of lute instrument. And yeah, the little rainbows coming out. Now it's very creative and expressive. And I always say when it comes to pages, I think of students and communication. So this one is kind of like a hybrid to me of like the Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Now, when this shows up, it's great for opening new doors or any new doors opening up to you. So I think that's always a great thing, whether it's offers or opportunities or conversations. Pages are really fantastic when new doors and opportunities come your way. So I really like this. This is also fantastic for any sort of creative pursuit, creative aspects. And everyone knows, Pisces gang, need some sort of outlet to get those creative juices flowing. So definitely lean into those in this time, especially with this page. But what's the downside to an energy like this? I always say with pages, there's a lot of energetic potential, but it's never a guarantee. And when it comes to page energy, they can get very shy, very bashful, and they can second guess themselves. So in this time, I think mindset and perspective are very important, because this energy could absolutely say, should I do that? Maybe not. Should I have done this? I probably shouldn't. And there's a lot of second guessing, flip flopping. But aside from that, great potential. We're just going to let that page chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. And we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Pisces people. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was titled An Explosive Return. Now, to me, it felt like the door was kicked wide open for something to pop back up. Whether it was a situation, an individual, you name it, to me, it felt like something looping back on you. Now, again, that could bleed over for a couple weeks. Maybe it's a person you haven't heard from in a long time. Maybe it's a situation and you're dealing with something similar. It seemed to have a very similar cycle. So just know, like, you're not alone. There's been other signs getting that recently too. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Pisces gang. What's happening in mid to late July? What's going on for our good friends here? Thank you. Knight of Cups. Cool. That's a great card in a Pisces reading. That's for sure. Get rid of that page. Get the Knight of Cups chilling right there by the amethyst. Make yourself comfortable, my friend. Let's get a couple more here. Thank you. 10 of Cups. Wow. Beautiful. Lots of people showing up. So remember, the very first oracle was a page. Now we got the Knight of Cups. Now we have the 10 of Cups. Wow. All right. Let's get one more. One more here for Pisces gang. 9 of Cups. Okay. I'm going to try to keep it like very neutral for now, Pisces, but we are in some pretty good territory right now, my friends. I'm trying to not get over the top excited or optimistic, but it's kind of hard when I'm looking at a spread like this, because I'm getting pretty pumped up about it. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first, look first glance, and again, this could be for cross watchers dealing with Pisces too. This could tell you that some good stuff could be coming up. But you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading. It tells us how comfortable you might be with energy or how uncomfortable or just how it flows. And this week, Pisces, we have water, water everywhere, right? Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, all cups everywhere. And that is water. Pisces is a water sign. So all of this is your power element. It's your comfort zone. So if this was a fire sign reading, I'd be like, ooh, that's a little too much water. But for Pisces, it's like I'm right at home. I feel great with this type of energy. So that alone gets me pumped. Now, what do we know about the water element and what it means in divination? It's the emotional realm. It's the inner world, matters of the heart, matters of emotion. Usually it's very sentimental. It's softer. It could speak about intuition, so your gut trying to tell you something, but it does deal heavily with partnerships. It could deal with matters of the heart, things, people, situations that we care about, things we're emotionally invested in. And that's what this is all about. Very creative, too. And I know we had the page in the beginning, but with all the water, it's like thinking outside the box, getting those juices flowing. So you might be able to really rework a lot of things or just have great ideas, whether it's for problem solving or creativity in general. The only downside to water is that just like the tides, it ebbs and flows, right? Like it goes out and then it comes back in. The water's heavy, then it's calm. Uh, Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but for a Pisces, you're usually good at navigating all of this. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a Pisces power card. So on top of the element, we got the Knight of Cups. That could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, any water sign. And I always say, out of all the knights, this is that Prince Charming archetype, right? Silky smooth, easy flowing, easygoing type of energy. I would say knights to me represent action and communication. They're messengers, very similar to pages as well. And this Knight of Cups is moving at the perfect speed. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles, that moves a little too slow. Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, oh, they're a little fast, right? This one moves at the perfect speed. It's just right. So I love the Knight of Cups just for that alone. This is huge when it comes to love readings. And again, I'm not saying this is solely going to be a love reading. It's a great sign in a Pisces reading. Now, what might be the downside of such a beautiful card? I mean, if we're not talking about conversations, in my style, it could just tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. But the downside to the Knight of Cups is that it could be an energy that either completely emotionally clams up and shuts down, so watch out for that, or it's one that plays off of emotion, where it can make you feel very bad for it, or it's an energy that knows how to play off of your emotions and knows what buttons to press. It's very smooth. I also get like salesman type of energy. Not saying that's a direction we're going, but I always like to give both sides of the coin. Now, moving to the center, we got probably like top two, top three best card in the whole entire deck. We got the Ten of Cups, and we see it, the happy family, 10 full cups cutting through the sky. We got the rainbow. It's a beautiful day. This is a card of wish fulfillment. It's a card of wins and victories. Again, it's top of the list when it comes to beautiful energy within the tarot deck. Other things that it could represent: home, family, living situation. So I'm not sure if you got things going on in that realm, but I always call this a win or a blessing. I have to, because it's content, it's happy. This is everything. This is almost dream come true type of energy. Now, what might be the downside to another beautiful card like this? It is 10 full cups. That's a lot of cups. That's a lot of emotion. And when this card does flip in reverse, it's like when things are good, they're great. But when things are down, they're down. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I always need to just advise that this is a very strong emotion. And sometimes we can control our emotions, sometimes we can't. And the Ten of Cups can sometimes be uncontrollable emotion. Now, moving to the back end, we come in with another beautiful banger of an energy. We got the Nine of Cups, right? And we see him there. I think this showed up in the Cancer reading as well. Happy, content, or John Travolta look-alike. He's got a room full of 9 cups, and he's inviting you in, Pisces, saying, hey, I got 9 cups. Why don't you come in and share a couple with me? Have a couple drinks here. So I love the Nine of Cups. Again, it's another wish fulfillment card, just like the 10. So it's beautiful. It's hard to poke holes in such a beautiful energy. Now, this card is also inviting, and it's nice, and it's considerate. Um, The downside, this card can overindulge. So if there are certain things or behaviors that you're trying to refrain from, the Nine of Cups is like, screw it, I'm going to do it because I want to. Or it's like, screw it, I'm going to do it because it feels good and I like it, right? Like it's one of those. It could also sometimes represent being too nice. So again, I just have to give the full side of the picture, but everything I'm seeing here is looking good and it's feeling good. So I want to dive deeper on all the Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here. Pardon me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that night. Let's see. Is it a talk? Is it a conversation? Is it an offer? What's happening? And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces gang, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay. Knight of Cups. What do you got for us, my good friend? Very similar to last week. So we have death in reverse underneath it. Okay, that's the energy that's looping back once again. So I could absolutely tell you we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time here on this first one because it's like everything I saw in last week's reading condensed into two cards. That's exactly what it is. Now, death, don't get nervous about it. It's Scorpio energy, right? Which is more water. Even though it doesn't look like a water card, it actually is. And sometimes death can represent the close of a chapter and open of a new one. But I always say to me, it's a phoenix rising from the ashes. Death represents change and metamorphosis, and it can represent the past. So when I see it in reverse, underneath the Knight of Cups, it's like an energy coming back around or an energy presenting itself. So you take that for whatever it's worth, whether it's a situation, whether it's a person you haven't heard from in a long time. There is this like reunion type of energy that I pick up here. So we're going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time here on that. I don't feel like this is somebody delaying a change. I mean, if we really wanted to like pick at this energy, it's like, all right, well, this is someone delaying something. This is someone kicking the can down the road. So I would just watch out for that. Aside from the returning energy, watch out for procrastination. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going here. Let's go in on the Ten of Cups. Very intriguing. So why is the Ten of Cups here for my Pisces friends? Why is it in the mix? Okay, thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, great. Emperor in the upright. Love it. So big Aries energy. That's your zodiacal neighbor right there. And the Emperor, it could represent patriarchal figures. It could represent authority figures. It's divine masculine. But if we take all that away, the Emperor calls the shots, right? The Emperor is the king of kings. So the Emperor is like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm going to make it happen. So for a lot of Pisces in this time, you might be very blunt. You might have a very straightforward way about you in this time. And listen, I get it. I have Pisces placements and Aries and Scorpio actually, but when it comes to the Emperor and the Ten of Cups, it's like this is the way. This is what I want to do because I know it's going to go well for me. I love it. We have the wins and victories all over the place here still. And if this Emperor was in reverse, then I'd be like, I don't know about that, Pisces. But to me, it's like I'm calling the shots now. I'm making the decisions, right? So for some Pisces, there might be certain things or situations where Spirit's like, hey, you want this Ten of Cups? Then you got to call the shots, Pisces. You want this Nine and Ten of Cups? Make it happen, right? Like it's very motivational. So it's funny that we have this procrastination potentially right on the front, but then in the center, it's like, yeah, I'm not procrastinating anymore. I'm going to do this thing. So we, aside from the wins and victories, we do have this big action coming here in the center, which I think is good. Let's keep going. This is great for reputation too. So just know, like with the Emperor and the Ten of Cups, it's like appealing to other people. I don't know why it's coming through that way, but there's something about a good reputation too. So let's keep going. Let's see what the Nine of Cups has. So why is the Nine of Cups in the mix for Pisces gang? I like what I'm seeing, my friends. So why is that 9 here? Yeah, and then the door just opens. It just opens. All right, yeah, so we have the double nines. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse underneath the Nine of Cups, and it just feels easy, my friends. This could absolutely be like an unexpected or surprising winner victory for sure, because it's like, should it be this easy? Like, that was way easier than I thought it would be. Or there could be something where it's like, when you don't try as hard, that's when you get the best results, which that might sound like odd advice. And again, you do what you will with whatever situations you're going through. But like when I see the Nine of Cups with the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's like, I'm just letting it flow. So it's like we have these different ways of acting, right? Like we have the little bit of procrastination, we have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make it happen. And then we also have the let it flow. Any and all of them are good to me. That's the beautiful thing. It's like either way, whatever way you do it, whatever way you go, you're going to get the same good result. It just depends on how quick you want to get there, right? But yeah, to me with the Nine of Wands, usually in the upright, it's guarded, right? It's blocked. It can represent rejection and all that kind of stuff. It's a very rocky, bumpy type of road. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Nine of Cups, it is easy flowing, easy going, and to me, it feels like something is way easier than I thought it would be. So I feel like we do have a surprising or unexpected win on top of all this other goodness. So I think the reading this week is very much claimable, Pisces, or something that you used to find difficult isn't as difficult anymore. There's just something about the energy flowing, and that is always the best place for a Pisces to be. And even if you're cross watching, same thing. Like you let that energy flow, it's going to go where it needs to go anyway. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I like what I see this week. I do. Don't get nervous about this card here. But position number one, we have the Knight of Cups with the Death card in reverse. Yeah, there could be a lot of things popping back up or revisiting in this time, just like we saw last week. So the door is still open for that. Um, this also did feel like kicking the can down the road with something a little bit, where it's like, all right, I'll handle it later. I'll do it later. So watch out for procrastination. In the center, we have the Ten of Cups with the Emperor, where it's like, nope, I'm going to do it. This is a lot of action, right? In the center, where it's like, okay, I want those 10 cups. I'm going to get those 10 cups. So it's like very fiery and tons of big action here. But still, again, we have this winner victory. And there's something good here about reputation as well. On the back end, we have the Nine of Cups with the Nine of Wands in reverse. This feels like something that is so much easier than I thought it would be. So this feels like a surprising or unexpected winner victory, and I just love it. So overall, I think this whole reading is claimable, aside from the procrastination bit. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get your shadow card out here. What do we got for Pisces, gang? Thank you. Okay. Five of Cups, a little bit of different cup energy here, my good friends. And the Five of Cups is the River of Tears card. And I'm going to give you the silver lining of this card as well. I'm not just going to keep pounding home only the shadows because there was so much energetic goodness in the reading. It's good to have a counterbalance, but I don't want to like rain on the parade, so to speak. But the Five of Cups is that card where it's sad, right? It's upset. It can represent depression, and it is like on a scale. So it doesn't mean that it's major. It doesn't mean that there's like the sky is falling or it's a huge major problem. There could just be something that's lingering in your energy or something that's just not sitting right with you. That's very possible here. But the good thing about this card is not that it's called the River of Tears and not that it's sad, because again, this could be someone else's energy, maybe someone else a little bummed out. But the good thing about the Five of Cups is its temporary nature, right? It's like a rough patch. So if you've been going through a tough one, this could actually be very reassuring because it's like, okay, a little bit of a rough patch, but things are looking up. So I like it for that. But yeah, just watch out for being in your cups a little bit too much, right? We've had a lot of water this week. We're going to put that Five of Cups down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The July calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the July subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, I will choose 3 lucky winners to either choose a copy of the Gilded Tarot Royale, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a must-have, or a handmade pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in today's reading, which one spoke to you the most, or jumped out to you the most, or resonated with you. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.